What's up? I'm Jeff and welcome back to the backyard. Today we're going to be talking about building backyard trails. We're standing here on our Mr. Frederickson trail, which you saw us rough in on our last trail update, because it starts here at the driveway, and when coupled with our Russell trail, which comes up to the driveway from the backyard, takes you back up the hill to the top of our Cool Runnings trail, which is our downhill mountain bike trail. And these trails are a ton of fun to ride our bikes on, as well as just go for little hikes on. But that was back at the beginning of August, and August was long and hot. So all the little finishing touches of this trail got done little bits at a time, and I really didn't get to film doing them because it was just such a sweaty mess. But now it's done and it's looking good, and it's time for a test ride, so let's go. I did get that. All right, so Mr. Frederickson is working out great. It's a little bit more technical, a little bit rougher than our Cool Runnings trail, which is exactly what I wanted. Just that technical climb trail to help me and the kids work on those sorts of skills. But after completing the Cool Runnings trail and hitting that jump, it just dumps you out here into the backyard. So where do we go next? Now, my master plan for this is going to be to try to loop all the way through the woods and just stay off the backyard completely. But for right now, we're going to just cut across the backyard, come down here to our trail that takes you back to the campsite, which you saw us build last spring. Now, if you come down here, but then instead of taking the left-hand corner and heading back to the campsite, we've actually got what was an old trail that was really rough and really bad shape, but we had a bunch of gravel left over from this campsite build that we decided to use what was left to fill in this and make this a little bit better of a walking trail. The gravel's not great for mountain biking, but as a walking trail, it's working great. And hopefully as it packs down and becomes more solid, it will work great for mountain biking too. It's a really quick turn. It's kind of difficult to do, but more on that later. I've got an idea of how to fix that. Right here, there's actually a little shortcut connector that takes you back to the woodshed, because I actually put this trail in to help me get my firewood because it was all stacked back here, and I wanted it to be an easier walk up there. But then just in the past week, we've taken what's left of the gravel and we filled in along here. Right here it's mostly dry, but right up here it's always been really swampy, so at the end of the summer here it's usually dried out, but we wanted to build up the ground a little bit here so that even in the spring, hopefully this is high and dry, nice to walk on and to ride your bikes. Then once you get to this little rise right here is back to where it's usually high and dry, and we have the remains of an old trail coming up this way. This one's really rooty though, which is kind of nice. It's a little bit more of a technical challenge, which is something that I wanted to try to build into parts of this trail. Which brings me to my question for you. And you can see that our trail names have sort of a movie theme. This trail, I've been calling it the Swamp Trail, but I want a movie related name so that it mixes together with everything else. And I'd like to see if you guys could come up with any great ideas. If you suggest Swamp Thing, just turn around and see yourself out. That's just not original. Swamp Thing, I'm not going to take it. Different ideas that have crossed my mind have been Fire Swamp, the Dead Marshes. If you have any more ideas, let us know in the comments. We want to have a super awesome name for this part of the trail. This is that really rooty and technical section I was talking about. But that takes you back up right to here, where you can either head back into the backyard or you could turn and head back up the Russell Trail, which takes us back to where we started. So now we're back to the driveway, which is kind of our trailhead. It's where the trails kind of start. And if you had asked me at the beginning of the year, I would have said our big project for the year would be the backyard campsite. And it was, but part of that even was building that new improved trail back to it. And then that turned into building this Mr. Frederickson trail, and then now with using the extra gravel down here on this swamp trail. This has really turned into the year of trail building. It's great to see them finally start to shape up. A lot of it's little remnants of existing trails that were finally meshing all together into one cohesive trail system. Now it just needs one totally pointless and kind of unnecessary thing to make it official. Perfect. Looking good. This is the trailhead of our trail system. This is where you'll start and stop all your bike rides, hikes, and adventures in our backyard. So it's fitting that it have an official trailhead sign map. Complete with a little "You Are Here" sticker, so you know exactly where you are, right here at the driveway, ready to either climb up Mr. Frederickson and come down Cool Runnings, or go the other way into the further backyard. But yeah, that was something that was a lot of work for just something that, like I said, doesn't really mean anything, but it's just one of those cool touches, just pluses it that little bit, makes your backyard adventures seem that much more awesome. And we've got more plans for the backyard trails, like I said, in years to come, but I think we've got a little itty bitty pile of gravel over here left, just a few wheelbarrows full, and then I am all done moving gravel for this year. But there's always another year. There's always more things to build in the yard. There's always more adventures to find. But if you haven't heard that building this Mr. Frederickson trail was almost borderline illegal, then check out this video up here. And until next time, get out there and have a fun-sized adventure of your own. Whoa, you were going way too fast. You all right?